Alrighty. How are you? It is the end of our week 4. Yeah, and heading into week 5. But hopefully, as you've gotten used to by now, I record 1 week ahead so that those students who have got this week complete, meaning week 5, want to work on week 6, gives you something to focus on. And I always encourage students to work ahead whenever possible. It just gives you more opportunity to get help, to solve issues, whatever, right? And I get too that even saying that there are some of you that are like, Rio, it's a good idea, but I just can't make it happen. Again, I don't understand everyone's situation. All I can do is say I get it at my level, because sometimes I need those due dates as well to help me focus on just the immediate things. And sometimes there's like an energy that like I get more hyped because I know I have a deadline, but I've really worked in my life to not need that and just to work on things because and here's my payoff is I'm just going to feel better when I know I have. Okay. So now why am I talking about this? Well, we are at week 6 in our class. Okay. And this week is going to be different than all the other weeks. There'll be no discussion. There'll be 2 things in my IT lab that you're doing, but those 2 things are different. Like the Excel. So we're moving into Excel, and there's a nice little mini lecture here from Brian about Excel. And right, so Excel skills are just great. I mean, employers will just like expect you to have Word, but they will be happy to see you have some Excel, and they'll be excited to see you have some access. So let me clarify now what I mean by the other items here. So I had mentioned this at the very beginning, and one of the students in this class, I honestly don't even remember who, asked me about how to download Microsoft Office for free, and I provided that link, but I'm providing it again here and you will need to have Microsoft Office to complete the Word Lab exam. Okay? Unlike the simulation, so in Word 1, 2, 3, and 4, you were in a simulated environment. It was software that was built to simulate the idea of Office, Word in this case. So now we're moving from simulation to real app. And in this case, you do need to use the full app installed locally. I know there's a scaled down version. I gotta quit doing this. That's out on Office 365, but don't use that. You will not have all the things you need to complete the lab test. So if you're on a Mac, as I am, you're going to need to have, when we get to the item for Microsoft Access, which is not until after Excel, okay, then Access. So why am I providing it here? Because some people have asked me for it. And so I recorded the other day, last week, and it's not short, it's 24 minutes, but how to install Microsoft Office on a Mac. Now, if you're not on a Mac, skip this. Although I think it's also good information for you to have, because one of the things that's great in life is to know when you can help point people in particular directions. It's like, and you might be amongst friends and they're like, I need to run Office and on my Mac. And you could say so intelligently, you know what, you can run Microsoft Office on your Mac. As a student, you get it for free. But you can also say it's only when you need Microsoft Access that you cannot do that on a Mac. So look how smart that sounds, right? So you can be really helpful, and it's fun to be helpful. When it comes to technology, I'm guessing many of you are the tech support for your folks, your friends, or whatever, and this just gives you more knowledge. So what am I saying? You don't have to watch the how to install Access on a Mac because we're not doing Access yet. But if you want to, and you're on a Mac, and you want to do this lab test on Word that is on Windows, you can follow this instruction to get Microsoft Office completely in a virtualized environment. And that's the other thing, right? This is really good to know how to do virtualization and to understand a little better the idea of it. Anyway, the most important one to watch is right here. I just recorded it this morning, and I walked you through how the lab tests work. And they're going to be different, as I said before, right? So make sure before you attempt to do this one over in my IT lab that you check this out, because it is going to help you understand the different ways. Because basically what you're doing is downloading a couple of files to your computer, working on that. You have instruction and you have the starting file, and then you're going to submit that into my IT lab. Okay, it's going to grade it, and then once it's graded, you can submit it again. Again, I'm repeating a little bit of what's in there, but the key is you have 3 attempts. And so if you miss something, you can fix your file locally and submit it again. Now, here's the other reason you want to get this right. In our class, right, labs account for 30%, and there are only labs account for 15%, these practical exams, okay, and there are 3 of them. So you can figure out that percentage to say, right, what is that percentage? You can kind of, just figure it out in your head. So it's a pretty good percentage, because the thing is, there's only 3 of them. So 3 times 5 is 15, so 5%. To where on the labs, you have many each week, quizzes each week. So you have many things that make up that 20% or 25 or 30. But on the practical exams, there's only 3 of them. So 5% of your grade is half a percentage of the actual final for this class. Okay? Okay. Does that help you? I hope so. And again, so in addition to the word lab test, which I recommend doing earlier versus later, you also have your first lab for Excel. So I've also made that available in my IT lab. Okay. All right. So we are at week 6, a couple weeks away from the mid part of the semester rolling through. I've been reading your comments about the discussion, which is interesting. I'm talking last time on week 5 about being substantive in your writing, because this is college level writing. So make sure you're checking that stuff out. By now, you've already been through week 5, so you've gotten that. And then, of course, and I will leave you with this, right? Let's all, again, be grateful for the people who are trying to help us navigate this horrific 2020, as far as healthcare workers, and now our firefighters, still in our healthcare workers out there fighting, right? Might be worthy of a discussion for how do we help make our world better in these ways. But more than anything, what I do, because I know a handful of people affected by this, is like, how can we help? How can we be of service? It feels good as humans to be of service. So let's all do whatever we can. Okay? Peace out.